wildfoxstitchery. I'm Steph, and this is my channel all about cross stitching. Sometimes I do a few other crafts here and there, but right now I am really focused on cross stitching, and especially on full coverage pieces and long dog samplers. If you've been around for a while, you know that I cannot resist long dog samplers. So, so that is what I do on this channel. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really does help the channel. If you are new, welcome. I hope you like the video and it would consider subscribing to follow along on my progress. I'm trying really hard right now to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. So we're getting there. Thank you so much to all of you who keep coming back and keep watching my videos and supporting me and writing all your lovely comments. I do read them all. Sometimes I forget to respond until days later, so sorry about that. Sometimes I'm really good about responding, and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I know that I had a few comments that I read but didn't get back to. But just so you know, I do read them and I love to see them. I appreciate them so much, and all your likes and shares and everything like that. So thank you for all of your support. Now, if you would like to join a fun, brand new stitching community and make some new friends, I have a new Facebook group that I've started recently, and there's a few of us there and we're having lots of fun. We've got a couple sales going on and more fun things planned for the future, so you can check out the link down below if you would like to join. It's open to anyone who's a stitcher or a crafter of any type. So come check us out there if you would like. And I also want to say thank you so much to Laura and Jen for sharing and spreading the word about my Facebook group. You guys are awesome, so thank you for that. So I think now that we've got that out of the way, we can finally take a look at what I've been stitching on in this past week. I usually try to do an update video every Saturday. Today is Saturday, November 15th, and it is 9 o'clock in the morning. We just got done eating breakfast. I made pumpkin spice pancakes for the boys this morning. We don't usually make pancakes, so it's kind of something special. And then before that, I had done my long run for the week. So if you don't know, I am also a runner. Right now, I'm not really training for anything. I'm just kind of maintaining the running level here as well as we can. So let's see. First thing we're going to look at is the new starts for the week. I started my first Stitches So Beautiful pattern finally. I've been looking forward to this start for a while. It's called Mermaid. I cannot remember who the artist is, but I will put it on the screen below because I don't have that written down right now. Let's get some stats here real quick. If I can open up my iPad. Okay. So this is a new start, and I'm stitching it on 28 count even weave, and as usual I'm using tent stitch 2/1, and I started up in the upper left corner. This piece has 160,000 stitches in it. I have put in 1,110 stitches this week, so it is at 0.69%. So you can see a lot of purples and pinkish colors and some dark 939. There's a lot of that in here as well. And I am not sure what sort of method I'm following here. I guess I'm kind of just all over the place with my full coverages usually. But it works for me, so that's what matters. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this one. I'm going to keep working on this kind of like one of my focus pieces in 2026. So you'll probably see a lot of it coming up here soon. So that is Mermaid by Stitches So Beautiful. Let's look at my next new start. I only have 2 this week, surprisingly. There's more planned this month though, if you've seen my plans video. The other one I started was a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called it's a mini version of Yume by Margaret Morales. And I am also stitching this on 28 count with a 10th stitch, 2 over 1, and this is how far I have gotten on this one. So now this one is a total of 79,625 stitches, and I put in 1,064. So my goal for the end of the year here is to make sure all of these full coverages have at least 1,000 stitches in them. So when I do a new start, I'm going to put in 1,000 stitches before moving on. And there's a couple that I had to go back and put in some more stitches just to get them to 1,000. That's my first goal this year, and we'll see if I can add more on top of that before the end of the year. So this is 1,064 stitches. I'm at 1.34% done. Now I know Captain Squirrel is also stitching this one. We have quite a few projects in common because we do tend to like a lot of the same things. So she told me she was stitching that one, so it's very exciting. I love working on projects with friends that are doing the same thing. Okay, let's move on to whips. The first thing I'm going to show you is my fancy lady, my Mirabilia. And this I'm working on Mondays for Mira Monday. Oh, and I just found my missing black floss. Yay. It was stuck to the back of this. I was wondering where that went. So I worked on this on Monday, and I will continue working on it every Monday till it's done. I started this month for my sale. It's an ongoing sale, so feel free to join if you are interested. It's called the First Fancy Lady Sale for people who are stitching on their first ever fancy lady, and that could be any kind of fancy lady. It doesn't have to be a Mirabilia or anything like that, but whatever you think is a fancy lady, that counts. So here is my progress on this. I love the colors on this one. It's so pretty. This is a 32 count lavender Lugana, and so far it's just DMC in there right now. And of course, this being a paper pattern, I don't know any numbers or percentages, but this is two days of work. Yeah, 2 days of work, 2 Mondays. So looking forward to continuing work on this one. I'll show you, if I didn't already, I would have posted a picture, I think, of where I was prior to this week. So that's exciting. I'm seeing a lot of people sharing their progress on their fancy ladies in the Facebook group and on Instagram, so that's very fun. Let's see what's next. Okay, I was able to pull out a couple of my older whips this week. I must have had a lot of extra stitching time, I guess. I don't know. So anyways, I pulled out LinaOva's Beauty and the Beast. And this one is a little see-through, but I don't have a board, so this will have to do. Yes, I'm stitching this with DMC threads. I believe this is a 25 count, and I'm doing 1 over 1. Not a 10 stitch full cross. So you can see here my plan sort of is I have 5 colors of red that I'm doing in a what's the word? Anyways, they will slightly change as they go down. My mind is blanking on that word right now, but you know what I mean. And then the silhouettes are going to be in 310. And it's hard to tell, but the straight borders all around the edges are $37.99. So this is looking amazing. And you can see here I'm starting to get to the silhouette of Belle here, and the Beast will be next. So that is probably the most exciting part of the whole piece. And I do want to add in the other colors of red for the roses so we can see what that's going to look like. So maybe I'll work on that here soon. So yeah, I was able to pull that out this week, a couple days. And then I'm doing this one for the LinaOva sale with Laura from Stitching by the Shore. So I think that is an ongoing sale that she's hosting. Okay, what's next? Also, I pulled out another really old piece. It is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and it's been a while since I worked on this one, but it is the Under the Sea sale, and this is where I'm at so far. You can see I have gotten quite a bit done. So I will have put a picture of where I was before, but I'll show you what I've worked on. So I added the 2 little turtles there. They still need eyes. And then I added this puffer fish who also still needs to be finished up, and I started working on this diver here. So this is coming along nicely. I think I might try to finish this before the end of the year. We'll see if that actually works out, but I think it's possible if I keep putting some time into it. Because right now I'm at 64% done. So I think there is just the otters up at the top. I have something in my eye. Hopefully it goes away. Yeah, finish up the diver, finish up all the eyes, and there's a few little scattered small fishies that I need to add. And then the diver here, and then it's just the border and the words at the bottom. It says Under the Sea. So I definitely think it's doable. And the story with this one is, so it was just 1 year ago on my birthday last November that I decided to pull this out and get back into cross stitching. I hadn't cross stitched in a few years. And so this is the thing I decided to pull out of all my whips that had been put away. I only had at that time just started on, you know, the first section, a little bit of the dolphins here. That's it. That's all I had a year ago when I pulled it out. And then I spent a lot of time stitching on this because at that time I was just kind of getting back into cross stitching. And I knew I wanted to, of course, keep cross stitching, but I was at that time going to focus on just a few things. So I put a lot of time into a few things at that before I got a little bit crazy in the middle of the year, this year, and started all the things. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll get them all done eventually. So I thought, you know, it's been about a year since I put a lot of work into this. It's been a year of getting back into cross stitching. So if I pull this back out, I could probably finish this up, and that would be a fun little full circle story there. So we'll see if that happens. What's next? My long dog sampler that I worked on this week is the Pointed Fifth. This is something I work on every Sunday for Sampler Sunday. I'll be working on a long dog sampler. Right now it's the Pointed Fifth. And you'll see a picture of where I was last week and where I am now. This is on a 25 count. Just 1/1. So it's small. And the main color is 37.99 DMC. This is all going to be in DMC. I'm trying to hold this piece up behind it so that we don't have such a see-through. So yeah, this is kind of going to be a rainbow scheme going down in the different sections. You can tell because we have the pink, we have the orange. These colors are 603 and 600, and then 3340. The lighter color orange will be a 3824. So hopefully that looks good when I get that in there. So really loving this. Of course, I love all my long dogs. And so I work on this on Sundays, and then I also, every morning, I put in 1 strand on this. So it's my 1 strand a day project. Yeah, whatever the long dog is for that week is what I will be doing that with, at least for till the end of the year. Okay, so next we're gonna look at the full coverage projects I worked on this week, and there are quite a few. The first one is charted by Artecy, and it's called Northern Lights. This is one I had started recently, but I needed to get those 1,000 stitches in, so I pulled it back out to get it to 1,000. here's where we are so far. This is a small one, and there's nothing very exciting yet. It's just some black and dark blues. It's at 3.12% done because it's so small. There's 32,400 stitches total, and I have now 1,012 stitches in. And this is another 28 count piece, 2/1/10 stitch. And this one I am going along the top until I get to the end, which I guess will be probably around here. And this is a pretty, like I said, a pretty small piece. So I just thought it was such a pretty one that I wanted to start it. So that I pulled out to get the rest of the 1,000 stitches in. So I'd probably put in about 500, I'm guessing, because it was probably about 500 before. Because when I pull out a full coverage, my goal is to put in 500 for the day on those. Okay, next, another newer start from recently that I needed to get to 1,000 stitches. This is the Titanic one by Tilton Crafts. And this is just as boring. Just a bunch of, there's 2 colors here, but you can't tell. 2 different blues. This is the sky. And I got it to 1,000 stitches. So we are at 0.82%, and this has a total of 127,500 stitches, and I'm at 1,047. So you can see here it's a little bit bigger. And like I said, a pretty boring beginning. It'll be a while before this one gets interesting, I think. Because as you can see, I'm also going across the top on this one as well. And then I will come back and move down to the next row and go across. So that was probably another 400 to 500 this week. It goes pretty quick when there isn't many color changes though, so it doesn't take too long. But looking forward to getting more progress on that one. That one is for my husband because he loves the Titanic. Okay, another one I had to pull out to get to the 1,000 stitch mark is Heaven and Earth Designs Margaret Morales. This one is a mini version of Chroma. So another one that Captain Squirrel is working on as well. Like I said, we have a lot in common. This is where I am now. This one is slightly smaller than the Yume one. And I have a little bit, so yeah, so I had to get it to 1,000 stitches. This is also on 28 count. So far they all have been, and it's 10 stitch. This one has a lot more color changes and a lot more interesting things to start with in the corner here than the last 2 did. So that made it's still blues though, but you know, I don't mind blues. So this one is at 1.51% done. There is a total of 69,550 stitches, and I have 1,047 done. So I'll definitely be working on that again soon because I love this one. So right now, out of all of the full coverages that I have, they're all well past 1,000 now that I got these ones, except for there's one I still need to get to 1,000. It only has like 491, but I didn't work on that this week, so you'll probably see that next week. Okay, so next, my countdown to Christmas Harry Potter movie marathon challenge game with Ebony from In Stitches with Ebony is my piece called The Fall of Arthas. It's a World of Warcraft related piece. And it's also the piece that I am using for my Stitchy game, my stitching adventure game. And the game is called Threadwalker Saga. I still have to film the video about that. I did film it last week, but I didn't post it because I have to redo it. I was kind of all over the place and not, I need to do it again. So we'll do that again today, and I will post it sometime soon to explain my Stitchy game in more detail in case it sounds interesting to anyone, because I am having fun with it. So this is where I am. I am doing all of the, I believe it's 823 is the main color here. So I'm going to do all of that across the entire piece first. And like I said, I do this while we are watching the Harry Potter movies on the weekend, my boys and I. So I'll work on that again on Sunday when we watch the third movie. Let me show you just briefly what level I am on my game, because this is a game where you level up your character. So this is my character here that I've made. This is the progress sheet. So I didn't color it in yet, but I've defeated the first monster or boss fight there, and I'm at level 11, so I'm trying to get to level 12, which would be this one here. But I need to put in a few more stitches because that level is 400 stitches. So I'm in the middle of working on that one to get to level 12 for my character. But more will be explained if that looks like an interesting game to you in the upcoming video that I hope to get posted this week. So I will keep working on that and leveling up my character, playing that game. It's just kind of a fun game to play and or just a fun way to get a lot of stitches in on a single project, or you could switch projects around if you wanted to do it that way too. Okay, let's move on to football stitching. This is another Tilton Crafts pattern called Killers, and this is artwork by Moreno, Aiden. And I am working on this every week, and it is for my husband. So I follow his football team, and if they win, I put in 500 stitches. If they lose, I put in 250. It is the Patriots that I am following for this, and they've been winning. So they've been doing really good this year, which is great. So I put in another 500 stitches, and here we are now. I'm putting in all of the 310 first. Let me go in a little closer here so you can see. I did fill in the first page for the most part there, so we could kind of see what it's gonna look like. And now I am putting in the rest of the 310. There's a couple more faces to put in there. Let's see, I think I worked in, oh yes, I do these on Fridays. So yesterday I worked in this area here to fill in some of the 310 down there. This is on a 25 count. So the coverage is still good on a 25 count. And it's still 10 stitch, 2 over 1 10 stitch. Let's look at the percentages here. I am so close to 20%. I'm at 19.73%. Thought maybe I'd get there this time, but even with putting in over 600 stitches, it happened. I still didn't get quite there yet, but next week for sure. So I have 22,906 stitches in out of 116,100 stitches. I just want to see real quick, how many more 310 stitches do I have left? Okay, I put in 51,000, no, scratch that. How could that be? I only did a total of 22,000. So out of all of those stitches, I still have 30,485 310 stitches left. Only 30,000 left. So that will take a while, especially if I'm only doing 500 a week, but I'll keep doing that during the football season. I told him, since they're doing so good, I mean, who would have thought, but there's probably a good chance of them making it to the playoffs, right? So if they make it to the playoffs, they win a playoff game, that would be 1,000 stitches for those games. And if they happen to make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, then I'll do 2,000 stitches. Because they've been doing so good ever since I started doing this stitching challenge. So I figured it must have something to do with that. So he said, I better make a challenge for the playoffs too, so they make it there and start winning those as well. So we did. This one is by Artecy, and it is called Freedom. It is the cropped version, and the artist is Abraham Hunter. This is another one I work on every week. I put in 250 stitches a week, and I also do this on Fridays. This is one of my 18 count full coverage pieces, so I do a full cross on this one. And you can see I'm also working across the top here, filling that in. This is looking really cool with all the colors in the sky. And you can really see the clouds, the darker clouds coming in there, the light shining down through these clouds. It's going to be beautiful. So that is a very enjoyable one to work on every week. Okay, the next one, as always, it is in my stand here because I was already working on it this morning. It's another weekly piece. My biggest project that I have right now, it is Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artist is Aimee, Stewart, and it is called The Traveling Library. So here is where I am. I put in 500 stitches every Saturday on this one. I've already put in a couple hundred this morning, so I have a few more to do today. And let's look at some percentages here. I'm so close to 1%. Maybe I will get there today. We'll see. I'm at 0.97% done. And I have 3,906 stitches completed out of 401,500. So I started in the bottom left corner this time, which is very strange, but I wanted to get to the fox faster. There's a lot of 310 in this. This is just a partial page on the bottom here, but there's still a lot of 310, and even in the whole piece, it doesn't, you wouldn't think so, but there's quite a bit of 310. So I might do all of 310. I don't know. That would be a lot. And I do that on a lot of the pieces I have, so it's a lot of 310 stitching, or 939 stitching, or 823. So this is gonna be so pretty in the end when it's done in like 30 years. So that is almost all my projects. I have my stamped cross stitch that I'm going to show you, even though you won't be able to see too much. I did work on this some more this week. This is by the Stamped Cross Stitch Club, the Stamped Stitch Club, and the artist is Kaitlyn Page. It's called Strawberry Dreams. It's very cute. I can't wait to see some more progress on it. You won't be able to see it very well, but I'm working also across here. I'm just going to fill in this section. Maybe if I show you the back, you can see how much I've done. And the colors, kind of see the colors, see fun colors in there. But yeah, so hard to tell, of course, on these stamped cross stitch kits, but I did want to try one. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. So I'll keep working on that when I can. Okay, let's move on. Next, I did get one thing from eBay this week because I just can't resist a good deal on these vintage kits, or usually it's what it is. I really got to stop looking. But I got this Bucilla kit. Oh, it's going to be shiny. It's just called Nativity, actually, and it's from 1995, so it's fairly old. It was a good deal, so. And it looks like it would be a lot of fun to stitch, so. Looks like the full kit here, brand new, not sorted colors, so I'll have to do that when I start it. I'm thinking of starting it this year, even though I already had my plans together, but you know, we'll see. Maybe I might not. We'll see what happens. Next, we have mentions, and I have 3 newer floss tubers that I was going to mention, and you should check them out. They're all fairly new. The first one I watched was Leslie at Stitch with Leslie. She just recently in the last few days did her first video. She did a wonderful job. It was great, so go check her out. Next I had Shauna at Stitching Shauna. She has a few videos out, but she's still fairly new and lots of lovely projects. So another person to go check out if you're looking for some new floss tubers to watch. And also Ashley at Ashley X Stitches just posted her first video, and it's a whip parade. She's got some great projects. She did a really good job on her video. They all did. So I will link these new people below, and you can go and take a look at their channel and see if it's something you'd wanna subscribe to. Let's move on to plans. I am doing, of course, the Harry Potter challenge stitching game thing, the countdown to Christmas. We are on the 3rd movie this weekend. Looking forward to that. I mentioned this before, but I have never seen all of the movies except past the 3rd one. So once we get past the 3rd one, we will move into territory of movies that we have never seen yet. So that will be interesting. And that was an idea by Ebony at In Stitches with Ebony. So I'll link her below as well, so you can go watch her video about it. I didn't have a Harry Potter themed piece, so I'm just doing my Fall of Arthas piece, which is, you know, somewhat related to with magic and stuff like that in it. Okay, so you all know, probably, if you've been here before, that I have been planning on starting Act of God on my birthday with that huge piece of really colorful fabric. I'm going to do 310 on the colorful fabric, something different I've never tried before. But I don't have the pattern yet, so I was going to buy it when it was time. But Jules just came out with a new long dog pattern that I love so much that I'm switching my plan. I'm not going to do Act of God anymore. I'm going to do the new one, which is called Penance, and I'm going to post it here because you're going to love it too. And if you want to start it with me on the 23rd of November or around that time, let me know. Because Colleen from Needle and Fox on Instagram, and she also has Colleen Fox on, she also has a YouTube channel here, but she's gonna start it with me as well. So if anyone else wants to join us, feel free and let us know. But I'm very excited because this is an amazing piece. I love it so much. So, and it fits on my fabric, you know, just fine. It's about not too much bigger than Act of God. It's around the same size, just maybe slightly longer. So it'll work perfect on the fabric. I've already checked. I'm going to do the same thing, the 310 on that colorful fabric. So no color changes this time, just my first ever straight 310 long dog sampler. So I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm really glad I didn't buy the other pattern yet, because now I don't have to feel guilty, you know, about switching my plans because I didn't have it yet. I've got Sampler Sunday stitching when I do my long dogs, Mira Monday, football stitching on Fridays, and then just getting my other new starts in and getting at least 1,000 stitches on all of my full coverage before the end of the year. And of course my Christmas plans for December, but you can see that in my plans video. There is another stitch along that I'm going to be hosting in December, which I'm super excited about. It's called Paws and Claws Sell. So any festive animal can be included, anything with a festive animal. So you'll see the ones I'm planning on doing in that video. I'll link it below here. That is about all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for hitting like and subscribing and coming back and watching all of my videos every week. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.